I would like to welcome two leaders and two partners at the forefront of the technological changes that are shaking the world of education. On the one hand, we've got one of the founders of Moodle, Martin Dougiamas, and we've got the founder and co-creator of BigBlueButton, Fred Dixon. Gentlemen, I'd just like to welcome you both.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Now, what's interesting, let's start at the beginning. Both of you have quite similar academic backgrounds. On the one hand, Martin, you've created Moodle, which is one of the world's leading learning management systems. Fred, you have created the only open source virtual classroom application, but you're both computer scientists. So what was it that led you both into education? Why don't you start, Martin?
So, yes, I had a interesting upbringing in the centre of Australia, out in the desert, away from any schools. And so back in the 70s and 80s, last century, I was learning through shortwave radio, so effectively online. And I was quite used to that. And later on, as an adult, I was working at a university and helping with their distance education there as well. And then there was the internet around, and I could see it wasn't really being used to its potential. And I started to build software to help that happen. And working with the academics at my university in Perth in Australia, I started to experiment with ways of interacting online and to just try and use the power of the internet in education. And I started building Moodle as a series of experiments, and it got bigger and bigger. And that was 20 years ago. I was very interested in computers my whole life, so I was always a computer scientist. And it was very interesting for me to sort of see how computer science can affect education and how education can affect computer science. So, education technology is the sweet spot for me.
Interesting. And Fred?
Yeah, so I have a computer science background and I have a university degree. And when I started this project back in 2007, just probably 7 years after, Martin, you started your project, this was already working at one university. So I came across it from an entrepreneur point of view. I understood what the technology was doing. It was the first version of BigBlueButton, a virtual classroom that could share audio, video, slides, and chat. And there's a saying, I think it's Russian, it doesn't matter how well the bear dances, it's the fact that the bear dances at all that's kind of amazing. And this worked. And so I thought that, okay, I have this technology background. I've taken a university degree, so that qualifies me to be everything I need to know about university. Not really, but I learned later on about teaching. And I thought, okay, let's go for this. This is something that should be, thinking back to 2007, should be more part of our future online. And I really believe that, you talk more about it later, the open source was the way to do it. So I took my computer science and my love of learning and just put it together and poured it into BigBlueButton.